Hi everybody, this is Mr. RB. Today we're going to be looking at how you draw the letter T and use 1-point perspective to create the illusion that your letter T is three-dimensional. Let's get started. I'm going to begin by creating a horizon line, and I'm going to place mine high up on the page today. Our horizon line will be horizontal from side to side. Notice horizon, horizontal. Horizontal kind of means like the horizon, going from side to side. Anything above that horizon is above our eye level, up in the sky, up towards the ceiling. Think looking up at birds or planes or clouds overhead. Anything below that line would be below our eye level. Think a box sitting on the floor, the seat of a chair before you sit down, things like that. I also need to create a vanishing point, and it must be on the horizon line somewhere. Today, I'm going to put mine all the way over to the left on the horizon line. Next, I need to draw my letter T, and I'm going to create a bubble letter T so it will have length and width, but it won't even look like it has depth. It'll just be a flat shape. I'm creating the two sides of the trunk of the T. And the bottom of the trunk of the T. Now, I'm going to get the crossbar of the T that goes on top. I do find that when I use my straight edge, my straight lines do come out straighter, but sometimes I get lazy, or I want a more handmade look, and I'll use just my hands and not use my straight edge. I will say that using the straight edge today will be helpful so that we get true and accurate perspective lines. All right, we have our bubble letter T. It's two-dimensional. It has a length and width, but it doesn't even look like it has depth. We're going to make it look like it has depth, and here's how. I place my pencil on the vanishing point, my ruler on the pencil, and I'm going to connect to the corners of the T. First, I'm going to connect to the corner, the bottom corner of that crossbar on the T. Over here, I'm just going to connect those two together, and then repeat for the top corner of that crossbar. Again, notice I have my pencil on vanishing point, ruler on pencil, and the ruler is also lined up with that corner. So when I draw the line in, I now have two lines starting at the two corners of the T and going back, 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 and as they go back, the lines appear to converge. An important part of perspective drawing. Things in the real world seem to get smaller as they go back in space. In our drawings, we make things smaller so that they seem to be going back in space. It's kind of a flip-flop. All right, we want to know how far back the back edge of this bar is. Here's the front edge of the bar. Where's the back edge? Anywhere you want it to be. I'm going to put mine about over here. I don't want to make my T too deep and too big. I can put my straight edge on that side of the line, slide it towards the vanishing point, and then just create another vertical line. Notice these two vertical lines are parallel. If they went on and on and on forever, they would never meet. I'm going to get rid of the extra bit that goes beyond my new vertical. Draw lightly. A lot of the lines you create you have to erase. They're just for working out the lines and angles. All right, I have a couple more lines to make. I want to have the top or roof of the T, and I have this corner, but I don't have this corner. Let's take care of that. I'll put my pencil on the vanishing point, ruler on the pencil. I pivot the ruler until it touches that corner, and I connect. Next, I want to add the back edge of this top roof of the T. Here's the front edge. Where's the back edge? Well, we know it has to connect to this corner here because that's the back corner. And we know that it's going to be horizontal because the front is horizontal. Whatever the front does, the back will do something similar. All right, let's put our ruler on that front edge. Slide up towards the vanishing point. And when I get to that corner, I'm just going to go straight across with my new horizontal. One horizontal, two horizontals. Notice that the bottom and the top stay horizontal. The two side pieces point towards the vanishing point. Let's get rid of that extra bit of line. Lots of erasing for sure. I have one more side I need to show with the T. I put my pencil on the vanishing point, my straight edge on the pencil, and if I line up with this lower corner, notice that I would go right through the T. I'm pretending that my T is made of concrete, wood, metal, something that is not transparent, something that is opaque, and you cannot see through it. Therefore, any lines that go through the back, I don't have to show. I don't need that one. I really won't need this one down here because it would go through the T. But when I get over to that lower left corner, yep, that I do need to put in. I'm going to draw that in. And the question again becomes, how far back do I put that line? Over here, over here, over here. I want to make it match the distances I've already put in for the side wall and roof of the upper part of the T. So I went back about, maybe half an inch. So I'm only going to go back about half an inch. And my guess is that will look fairly reasonable. Let's try it and see. There's my dot. About a half inch back. Let's see if I slide my vertical over and I add that line, does it look about right? Maybe it could be a little deeper. I'm going to try it just a little deeper. Sometimes you just don't know till you try, and you have to back up a bit and take a look. Sure, I think either one of these would have done okay, but we'll add that one. I need to get rid of the extra work line that I used. And the last piece I want to do is I definitely want to add a little tone to the side piece. I'm going to think that the sun is up here in the sky, shining down so brightly, making this top roof very bright, but leaving the side pieces here and here in some darker shadow. I'm using my ruler at the moment just to get a block so my pencil doesn't go over into the background. That lets me get a nice, rich, deep, dark tone. And the darker my shadows are, the brighter my light will see. And the more excitement and drama my picture will tend to have. If everything is the same tone, all sort of middle, medium, or medium to light, or whatever you have, it tends to get visually boring. It's hard to keep looking at that. There's some nice dark tone. I'm going to smear a little bit of tone across the face of the T, the original bubble letter. And the reason is I want to make the roof seem bright and light. Well, I can't make it any brighter than the white of the paper I started with. So the only way I can make the roof seem bright is by getting some gray in around it. I'm going to use the side of my pencil, just get a little tone in there, and a little tone above and around the top of the T. I'm going to use my finger to smear that around a bit to get a smooth tone so people notice the T and the convincing reality of it rather than the marks I used to create it. I don't really want people noticing how I drew it. I don't really want them noticing the marks that only could exist on a piece of paper. I want them to forget that this is a piece of paper and imagine that what I'm giving them is a window to some other fully three-dimensional reality. I'm going to restate my front line to just make it come forward with a little bolder, darker line. And I'm going to finish up with just adding a little bit of shadow down at the bottom. I'm going to use some side-to-side movements. And I'm using the side of the pencil. I like using the side because not only does it move faster than if I use the tip of the pencil, by using the side of that, it's easier to smear so that the marks really disappear. And it's easier to erase for when I decide that I need to reshape the shadow a bit. Let's say I go, ooh, that's a little ragged there. Let's clean that up. There are ways to use perspective to figure out what the real length and direction of the shadow are, and to even help figure out the shape of it. We're not going into those today. I just wanted to get a little bit of tone down there. Just to enhance the illusion of three-dimensional form acting on rays of light as they spread through the drawing. All right, we got a little tone there. And that gives us a T for today. Ooh, T for today. Yeah, not bad, huh? Right? Yeah. Oh well. Check out the other letters. Feel free to combine them to make your own word. Talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.